What's up, guys? This is Matt with Flagstaff Camera, and today we're going to talk a little bit about why you would even bother shooting film. Let's dive in. Why would you bother shooting film? Why not just shoot digital, do an emulation, do one of those plugins, do some Lightroom magic, get your Photoshop skills on? Why would you shoot film? There's a bunch of reasons people choose to shoot film, and we'll just kind of talk through a couple of them in no particular order. One for me that's huge is having a physical copy of every shot. So if you take your digital camera, you go out and take a bunch of pictures, you load them all onto your hard drive from your memory card, and your hard drive crashes and you weren't backed up. It's gone, and it's gone forever. You're never getting those back, right? But me, if I take my film camera out, I shoot, I develop, I have negatives. I have something physical, tangible that I can touch and hold, and then I scan these. Well, let's say in 20 years, scanning gets way better, and I can scan them at 5,000 megapixels instead of just 100. Well, then I take my negatives that I've carefully filed away, and I scan them again, and I can process them again. So the physical, tangible backup and the ability to change things as you move forward in your career and in your life, that's a huge reason for me. Another big reason people choose to shoot film is you can shoot big film. So when you shoot your 35mm camera or your 35mm DSLR, your sensor size is pretty much fixed. It's pretty much the same thing. It's 24mm by 36mm, but for a similar size camera, you can shoot a negative that's 4 times larger. So you have your 35mm negatives, or you have your 6x6, you have 6.7, you have 6x9, 6.17, huge negatives, right? And so with a bigger negative, your film grain makes less of an impact on the image, and you have significantly higher resolution. You can make much bigger prints. You have a better bokeh. You can have better bokeh with a similar style lens. So this lens here is on my old Hasselblad. It runs to 2.8, but even at f4, f5, 6, I can get extremely shallow depth of field, where on my 35mm camera, I'm going to have to be open to f1.8, maybe f2 to achieve something that's even close. That allows me a little bit more latitude when I'm shooting. Another reason people shoot film is those tones. You got zones and tones. And it's really something you can sort of replicate with digital, but it's much easier to just grab a roll of Portra 400, 800, whatever. If you want that sort of warm, pseudo-grainy look, you just know that that's exactly how Portra is going to look all the time. If you need a really high contrast black and white, you just pick a specific film stock, rock and roll. Now you are stuck with those images looking that way forever once you've shot them on that film stock. But to me, the constraint of choosing a film stock and sticking with it and shooting with that in mind is part of the creative process, and I prefer it to being able to just take my digital camera and make it look any which way that I would want, right? It's good to shoot the way the masters shot. So people, the masters of photography, your Ansel Adamses, your everybody, all the masters, right? They've all shot film, every one of them. If you are following someone or you're inspired by someone who you consider to be a master of photography and that person has never shot film, I would dare say they're not a master of photography. All of these people learn to shoot film, they learn to slow down, most of them learn to develop their own film, or many of them did. And it completely changes the way that you shoot, forces you to slow down, chill out, not run and gun, not spray and pray, but really take your time with the images. And that's a really good reason to shoot film. Another reason you might shoot film is that it can be less expensive than shooting digital. Hear me out. So you buy a film camera, say a kit like this, a 35 camera with a couple of nice lenses, you might spend $200, $300 on that kit, right? And then you'll spend about $1 a frame on film. But if you're going slow and you're making your shots count, you can shoot a lot of pictures for that couple $100 instead of spending $5,000 on a big badass DSLR mirrorless with a lens or two, right? Those are expensive. You can shoot a lot of pictures for that kind of money on an inexpensive film kit. Furthermore, to get a digital medium format is very expensive. Its prices are coming down, but you're looking at 5, 7, 10 grand easy, right? Where you can get a used film camera that shoots medium format for way less. We're talking like $1,000, $2,000, and for the remaining $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, you can shoot a bunch of film, right? And then not only can you shoot that film, but you'll have a physical copy of it. You'll have it forever, as long as you don't like lose it or throw it away or whatever. Make sure your lab gives you your negatives back. We did a separate video about that. You can check that out over there. Another reason you might want to shoot some film, and this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but I think it's more and more applicable in today's society, is delayed gratification. And by that I mean you get a roll of film, you load it up, and you're stuck with that roll of film for as long as it takes you to shoot it. So if it takes you 2 months to go through 36 frames, or if it takes you a week, and then you have to send it off to the lab, and you got to wait for it to get processed and wait to get everything back, the delayed gratification for me is part of the charm. I like the fact that I'm not spending all my time staring at the back of the screen like, you know, what do they call that? Chimping? You can't chimp on a film camera. You just take the pictures. You're in the moment. You're living more because you're not looking at the phone or the camera or the whatever. So the delayed gratification part is huge for me. And I love, personally, loading up a camera with whatever roll of film. I usually will put like a little note on the back of the camera, or put like the piece of the film box back here, right? And shoot it for 6 months. Keep it in there for a year. You know, if you have a bunch of cameras, you have one that's black and white, one that's color, one that's high speed, one that's low speed, whatever, and it takes you a year to shoot that roll, and by the time you finally get developed, you get all these memories that you've completely forgotten about, which I think is really fun. So delayed gratification, great reason to shoot film. Anyway, those are some of the reasons that I like to shoot film, that I've heard from people around, that, you know, the reasons that they shoot film. Why do you shoot film? Just drop us a little answer in the comments below. Maybe we'll do another video later. Until then, see ya.